Hi everyone, my name is MARK233 and this is my conversion campaign for Broth Records. This campaign focuses on moving our audience from passive engagement to actual action, whether that's a merch purchase, a pre-save, or just a deeper connection with the brand. I've approached this from a digital-first, persona-driven perspective, really trying to match what our audience values with what Broth represents. Broth Records is a small independent label based in Australia that already has a strong artist-first identity. What's missing is a consistent presence on the platforms our audience lives on, and that's where this campaign comes in. We're not changing broth, we're just building a clearer rhythm around what already makes it special. Our content mission is we create unfiltered, behind the scenes content for fans who crave substance over spectacle, so they can feel truly connected to the artists, their stories, and the culture behind the sound. This mission guided all my content decisions, the tone, the structure, and the way each platform is used. It's about giving fans a feeling that they're part of the process, not just watching from a distance. I've set two main marketing objectives. The first is to build a digital identity that reflects Broth's real world personality, something that still feels grassroots and artist driven. And the second is to increase engagement through content that actually fits how Gen Z interacts online. Content that's not too polished and feels emotionally real. I built the campaign around a buyer persona called Indie Ilsa. She's 21, studies arts or media, and lives in Sydney or Melbourne. She discovers music on TikTok, checks for legitimacy through Instagram stories, and is part of smaller, niche online communities. She doesn't like being marketed to. What she wants is access to the artist, the process, and to something that feels genuine. This entire strategy speaks directly to her habits, attention span, and values. I did a content audit comparing Broth to two independent labels, Elephant Tracks and IOU. What stood out was that Broth already has a more authentic voice, but we don't post as often or with as much strategic intent. We're not lacking quality, we're just not showing up often enough. This directly informed how I built the calendar and chose which platforms to prioritize. From the audit, I found 2K insights. First, our Instagram followers are active, but we don't give them enough content to stay engaged. That led to the idea of regular merch based story content. And second, we're completely absent from TikTok, even though our tone and artist identity are a great fit for that space. So I developed a BTS teaser strategy that uses lo fi, intimate content to connect emotionally before a release. Everything we need to say needs to sound like it came from inside the scene, not from a marketing calendar. That means leading with a voice that's raw, grounded, and emotionally honest. One example is an Instagram story where we only press 30 for people who actually listen. That kind of writing is what resonates with Indie Elsa because it doesn't feel like it was written for reach. I've outlined two SMART goals for the campaign: convert 30 followers into merch buyers within 6 weeks, and reach 40 pre saves on an upcoming EP within 2 weeks of content rollout. These numbers are based on both past engagement performance, especially around followers and post engagement, so they're achievable and measurable. This campaign focuses on three key platforms: TikTok for discovery and emotional connection, Instagram for urgency and validation, Spotify for passive but decisive listening. Each one supports a different stage in the conversion journey and all represent different types of models in the Pezzo model. All content is shaped around three core themes: scarcity to build urgency, artist value to connect products with story, and fan emotion to turn feeling into action. You'll see these reflected in tone, calls to action, and format, especially in the way each variant is structured. For Instagram, using owned media, I created a merge story using two A/B versions. Variant A says, "We only press 30, that's it. One first pick plus $5 off," with a call to action of guest first dibs. Variant B says, "We didn't plan for extras. You're early. Take $5 off," with a call to action of "You found it." Both feel like broth, but one is built for speed, the other for more subtle approach. So the decision was I went with the variant A after the testing. It's clearer, punchier, and creates the strongest sense of urgency. which is what you need in stories, where you only have a few seconds to capture attention. It also fits limited merch culture. First dibs speaks the right language. Next is TikTok. Broth presence on TikTok can benefit from a mixture of earned and owned content. I used the behind the scenes teaser of an EP being recorded. Variant A says, didn't plan to post this. Pre-save and buy. Whereas Variant B says, if you found this, you're early. Support this before it drops. Both fit the tone, but with different levels of action. I chose Variant A because it combines authenticity with a simple call to action. That's what works best on TikTok. Content that feels spontaneous, but still gives the viewer something to do. The emotional line hooks them, and the CTA gives that direction and supports conversion. For Spotify, I created a piece of paid media that is an audio-style visual ad. Variant A says not made for playlists, made for people, with a call to action of save now. Variant B says this one's not finished, but maybe it says something to you, with a call to action of download. Spotify is more passive, so it's important that the message lands quickly. I went with Variant A after the A/B testing because it's direct, self-aware, and cuts through the kind of audio clutter listeners are used to. It also supports the campaign tone that this isn't factory-made music. It's human. Here's how the content rolls out. Instagram stories start the week, TikTok goes live midweek in the evenings, and Spotify ads run from Wednesday to Saturday. This calendar could then be recreated based on other artists, new releases, new merch, and more. But following the suggested timelines is pivotal. Each piece is timed around Indie behavior, when she's likely to scroll, post, or listen. So, to wrap it up, this campaign isn't just about choosing the right platforms, it's about using each one with purpose. On TikTok, we create motion and discovery, Instagram delivers urgency and validation, and Spotify locks in action. These aren't just posts, they're steps in a journey. Each one moves the audience closer to Broth, not through ads, but through connection. What I've aimed to do in this campaign is build consistency and rhythm around Broth's artist first identity. It encourages real action, but through real emotion, the kind that doesn't feel manufactured or commercial. And hopefully, it helps us convert attention into something more lasting, something like loyalty. Because at the end of the day, we're not here to advertise. We're here to connect, one drop, one post, one listener at a time. Thank you guys and enjoy your weekend. Here's a reference.